Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, September 10th. This is Gina McGuire. Temperatures will continue warming through Saturday across the Great Basin, with highs 8 to 15 degrees above normal, with temperatures highest above normal across the northern two-thirds of Nevada, where high temperatures will reach or exceed record highs, especially on Friday and Saturday. Also, we'll start to see a return of lightning over parts of southern Nevada with a little bit more rainfall as we approach Sunday. However, there may be some drier storms along the Sierra Front and into northwest Nevada and possibly southwest Idaho on Sunday. This may briefly increase fire potential, especially as winds increase on Monday. This will continue to be monitored. Over the last 24 hours, we did see a few isolated storms over far southern Nevada with light amounts of rainfall. Over the last 1 to 2 weeks, very dry conditions have continued across most of Nevada, with no precipitation recorded over the western two-thirds of the state. Any precipitation was focused north or east, especially across the central Idaho mountains. Yesterday, light fire activity was reported across the Great Basin, with a few new starts reported across Utah and into Idaho, with also growth on our existing incidents. Looking at the water vapor satellite image from this morning, high pressure is now building across the Great Basin and will be responsible for our very warm and dry conditions. Tropical storm Linda is located off the Baja Peninsula and will gradually be moving northwest. This moisture from Linda will slowly push north into far southern Nevada as we move into later in the weekend, with mid-level moisture eventually starting to wrap around the high over parts of western, northwest Nevada into Idaho, bringing a return of thunderstorms. Today we'll likely see generally low fire potential across the central Idaho mountains due to the recent cooler and wet weather, however still low to moderate fire potential further south in the much drier and warmer areas. Today temperatures will continue climbing well into the 90s across most of Nevada, and also back into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees over the lower elevations of Idaho and Utah, with relative humidity dropping into the single digits to low teens. As we move into Friday and this ridge of high pressure expands further north, fire potential will return to moderate in most areas, and temperatures will continue climbing, which will likely be our warmest day across much of Nevada on Friday, with highs reaching the mid to upper 90s over western and northern areas. Relative humidity again will remain low. As we move into Saturday, this ridge flattens a little bit, however temperatures will still remain above normal and likely reach some records across parts of Nevada, and you're starting to see that moisture wrap around the area of high pressure from Linda and move into northern California on Saturday. However, still, the Great Basin will remain dry, with the exception of possibly the very far southern tip of Nevada that may see a few isolated storms. As you can see, still moderate fire potential is expected across the Great Basin. On Saturday, these surface temperatures still remain very warm, with very low relative humidity. Things become a little bit more interesting as we move into Sunday and early next week across the Great Basin, as the moisture from Linda starts to push up into the Sierra Front, northwest Nevada, and possibly southwest Idaho. These thunderstorms, if we do see lightning, would be on the drier side. However, right now confidence is fairly low as far as any development of lightning and also the coverage. This will continue to be monitored, though, after a very warm and dry period across western Nevada. Over southern Nevada into the Arizona Strip, moisture will be increasing more significantly. Therefore, any thunderstorms that start out drier will likely quickly turn wet. As we move into Monday and another trough of low pressure drops into the northwest, this will allow that moisture to spread northward and east across much of the Great Basin, bringing a greater likelihood of wetter weather and some thunderstorms, however still areas of wetting rains. And also, as this trough drops in, we'll likely see an increase in wind along with much cooler temperatures. Along portions of the Sierra Front into western Nevada will likely still remain on the drier side. Therefore, if we do see any lightning on Sunday, we'll need to monitor the winds on Monday despite the increase in humidity. As we move into Tuesday and Wednesday and this trough swings through the area, it will push the moisture further east over the eastern side of the Great Basin by Tuesday. However, due to the cooler temperatures and the increase in moisture, fire potential will be decreasing across the Great Basin by Tuesday and Wednesday, especially over the eastern half of the area. And again by Wednesday, this trough is now well off to the east. However, another area of low pressure dropping into the northwest will bring more moisture, gusty winds, and possibly even some precipitation to the Great Basin again, along with much cooler temperatures. Looking at forecast amounts of precipitation later this weekend into next week, by Sunday and Monday, the greatest amounts of precipitation will occur over parts of eastern Nevada into Utah and southeast Idaho, with some precipitation possible in the southern portion of the Sierra Front. However, further north into western, northwest, and northern Nevada and western Idaho, very little precipitation expected. By Tuesday and Wednesday, as this trough swings through the Great Basin, we'll see higher precipitation amounts over northern and eastern areas. Looking at the fire danger indices, we are now seeing areas over Nevada and Utah into southeast Idaho with ERCs between the 70th and 90th percentile, which with still low ERCs over parts of Idaho and the far southern portion of the Great Basin. Live fuel moistures still remain near to below normal in all areas. Looking at the longer range outlook for the third week in September, we're likely going to see below normal temperatures over parts of northern and eastern sides of the Great Basin, along with an increased amount of precipitation. That concludes the briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.